The regular season is heating up, new stars are emerging, and that means more opportunities to win up to 25 times your cash on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection on a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. Let it fly to turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Watch your favorite players and get paid doing it this basketball season. See your entries make progress during the game or make new entries for the second half in the fourth quarter. 3-pointers, assists, rebounds, and everything in between are yours for the taking. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This is Beijing Bound, the countdown to the 2022 Winter Olympic Games. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
2 British brothers are among 3 short-track speed skaters who've been picked for Team GB at the upcoming Beijing Winter Olympics.
Kathryn Thomson has also been selected for her second games. She'll have a hectic schedule in the 500, 1,000 and 1,500 metres.
But 21-year-old Niall Treacy will make his Olympic debut alongside big brother Farrell in the 1,000 metres, after reaching his first ever A final at the recent World Cup event in Hungary.
And Farrell's told us it's a huge relief to get selected again for Team GB.
I wasn't sure how it was going to be. I guess with how the last 4 years has been, it feels just as proud as the first time, really. With countless injuries and just with the funding cut and stuff like that, to finally get back there and to say that I'm going to be a second-time Olympian. I'm really proud and really excited for what could potentially be coming.
Let's talk about some of those challenges, and it is quite a list of injuries, isn't it? Can you give us the potted history of what exactly has happened to you over the last few years?
Yeah, well, it's just been a bit of a nightmare, to be fair, with my injury list. So I was actually carrying an injury from the last games in my hip and adductor, which was undiagnosed, and the physios couldn't find what was the problem, and it was actually just getting worse and worse. So that was kind of the main injury that I'm still, even though I've had surgery on it, I'm still having. I had problems at the Olympic qualifiers that it came up again. At the first World Championships in the cycle, I had a bad crash, and I strained the LCL and MCL in my knee, and I had a fracture in my leg. I don't know the correct term now. It's been a while. I broke my leg and then sprained my knee quite badly. And then the next year, I broke my ankle. This was just before the COVID outbreak. At the time, the physios didn't think I broke their ankle. They were like, "You walked off the ice, you're walking now, it's fine." However, it obviously didn't heal properly. And then I tried to train after COVID back in Hungary. And I did basically the same thing again. And the doctors basically saw my x-ray and they were confused. And they were just like, "Yeah, we believe you broke it again, but we can see that you broke it before. Have you done the same thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did it about 9 months ago." So they were, you've broken it twice now. And that was in January this year. And at the time, it was quite worrying, because some of the doctors were thinking, "Oh, maybe you might need to have surgery on that," and that would have put me out for like maybe at least 3-6 months, they reckon. And then obviously with training Olympic qualifiers, training for the summer, that is obviously incredibly important, and a lot that I missed from my surgery and all the other injuries I had during COVID time. that was like, oh dear, this could be over right now, depending on what the doctors say. So I came back to the UK, and luckily they said that my ankle was in a position where it didn't need surgery. So in March I started physio again, and then made the comeback, and the ankle's been a bit on and off ever since, but it's feeling really strong now. So it's been kind of a crazy year of just being like, I'm good enough for trials, and then trying to get into a place to qualify myself to go to World Cups, and then be like, I actually picked up an injury at trials with my back, and then trying to get just good enough for World qualifiers. So it's felt like 4 years of just trying to get over little hurdles. So the fact that I've made it and I got through it all, and it was just in time in a lot of cases. No, it's a relief, definitely, but also I'm quite proud of myself for keep coming back. So yeah.
What keeps you coming back, Farrell? Where does that mental strength come from to keep going?
At times, I'm actually not too sure. There's been a couple of times where I'm thinking, maybe this is somebody telling me, you know what I mean? This is made for you. But I don't really know. I think it's just the love for sport. I love my sport. I love competing. I love being out there. And in COVID, it was kind of hard because obviously we couldn't compete, and it was really frustrating. But I was injured as well, which is obviously any athlete will tell you it's an awful place to be in. It's not where you want to be. So yeah, I feel like it's just the love for competing. And then and with the funding cut, it kind of allowed me to go train elsewhere. So I've trained in Italy, Hungary, and now in America. Something that I've always thought was something that I wanted to do for part of my development to improve my racing. And in that period, since I moved out, I only had 2 World Cups up to this year. And in those World Cups, I saw things that I'd never seen from myself before. So it's always been in the back of my mind, like, what could I do with the right training environment that I could create? What could I do on the world stage? And there's been glimpses of it this year. So hopefully I stay healthy and I build on from the momentum that I got into the last 2 World Cups. So yeah.
I mean, with all those challenges, I know that you've been thinking about the future as well. So is Beijing a bonus? Is that what you're looking at, or is Beijing another step maybe towards Milan?
At this point, I think I can't be. I'm focusing on Beijing. I think I'll have to reassess my body, reassess. Just I guess my life goals as well. I think I'm 26 now. I'm not a young kid anymore, and I'm doing a master's at the moment in business management and sport at Montford University. So I'll be looking at potentially finishing that as well. So I guess it'll really all depend with opportunity wise, and also from a funding side. I guess another 4 years of being unfunded. I don't know how well that will go. So yeah, and again, I'll be 31 at the next game, so maybe it'll be, I've got to see it from an age point of view as well. In short track, there's a lot of young skaters coming up, and they're really, they've got no fear, and something that maybe with the injuries, it might become another factor with myself. I still don't feel that at the moment, but you never know with older age. So yeah, and I feel like Beijing is just a focus at the moment. So yeah.
It's interesting you say you've got no fear, because as we know, yours is a sport where literally anything can happen. Do you feel that anxiety, that fear is creeping up on you a little bit now?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. If anything, since I've been training on boardless every day, which is a training, it's a term for short track speed skaters, where you on an ice rink, you don't have the boards in place. They just have the padding. So if you hit the pads, it moves. I think since I started training there, and the racing has now been strictly only boardless, I think the fear and anxiety of speed skating has gone down for me. I think that was always a a thing in the back of my head. So that's gone down. I think the only anxiety I've had recently is because I've had so many injuries. I thought if I get another injury now, like, it's game over. So that would be the only anxiety from a point of view where not actually hurting myself at this point. It's just like the dream of going to Beijing and adding another injury to the list would have been like devastating at that point. So no.
And I'm interested, obviously, you talked about the injuries, you talked about the pandemic and everything, but you did use some of that time wisely to start having those thoughts, conversations with yourself about life after sport and preparing yourself for that?
Yeah. Like I said, I actually spoke to Dr. Heather Ditcher at a UK sport conference just after, it was actually a workshop for life after sport. About the uni course, doing the masters. And then obviously when the pandemic hit, I was like, this could potentially be an opportunity to do it because it was full time. And I knew a lot of things were moving, remotely. So I just asked her whether or not I could do training and do the course. And she obviously said, this is a great opportunity. Yes, you can do it remotely and you can do training because we obviously don't know how the pandemic is going to change and evolve. So at the moment we can commit to doing it remotely and do my training next to it, which was kind of a blessing because at that point I've always thought like that was a big thing for me to get a degree. So no, I feel like it was a blessing. Well, not a blessing, but like it was an opportunity well taken to be almost. It didn't feel like wasted time for me. So yeah, and it's been definitely challenging. Trying to do a master's remotely while also training, rehabbing. But no, I feel like I feel very lucky that it kind of all fell into place a little bit. So even though things weren't going perfectly with my speed skating and staying healthy, I feel like no, I got a bit of luck elsewhere.
Two more questions, Farrell, if we may. Your little brother's coming to the Olympics this time, your second games. Yeah. How does that feel, having him with you?
Well, yeah, having my little brother come, I feel like it's just it's obviously incredible for him, over the moon for him to go. But yeah, no, it's kind of good to see another Treacy get to the Olympic Games. So yeah, no, it's definitely a great story. So yeah. No, over the moon for him.
And he said that his mum hasn't really, your mum hasn't really said much apart from keeping you guys safe and getting you out to Beijing. Is that a whole kind of Christmas cancelled, COVID kind of thing? What is there any issues with the family getting together?
Oh well, at the moment I'm in America, and I think the plan's been ever changing since COVID. It's been a jostling of obviously trying to see what the regulations and stuff like that was. And then obviously with COVID cases, when we were out in Europe and we saw the COVID cases rising and stuff, I just made the decision that I believe I know where to prepare myself. I need to be out in America for the training facilities and stuff like that. So I made that decision to go out at the beginning of December. And I feel like with COVID, I just don't want to take that risk of adding travel, potentially getting COVID on the travel way back or all the way back to, or coming back to America. So at this point, I'm spending the first Christmas outside of the country. So it'll be different. But I think with the times at the moment, it's just not worth the risk.
Well, congratulations to you once again for being selected. Enjoy your Christmas via Zoom.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Farrell Treacy. And 10-time European champion and 3-time Olympian Elise Christie recently announced her retirement from short track, but has revealed she hopes to finally win an Olympic medal in a different winter sport in Milan in 4 years' time.
And download our weekly Anything But Footy podcast for all the latest Olympic and Paralympic news, interviews and conversations. We're on Apple and Google Podcasts. Just search Anything But Footy.
Sports Social Podcast Network.